Welcome back to another episode of Street Scene Power Hour. We want to welcome you here on Buzzsprout, iHeart, whatever podcast media you're
YouTube,
enjoying right now.
Facebook.
And yeah, we're
everywhere.
We do the YouTube thing as well. So
we're
Greg
around the world.
Jeez, Rick, you're already starting. You know, he's already walking on me. I'm trying to introduce him. Maybe I tell you what, why don't you introduce yourself since you walked on me? Who are you?
My name is Greg.
Greg no. I have a few more names for you. Rick Guerrero is our host here. I'm Greg Roten. And, you know, it has been, and I was looking at the calendar, Rick, and it has been almost to the day 2 years ago when we had Keith Sturgeon on.
2 years ago.
2 years. It has almost to the day. What Keith? What day was that?
I believe it would be tomorrow.
Yeah.
It would be the 2 years.
2 years. So
I would never guessed that.
You know, he was well overdue to return to our show. Keith Sturgeon is our guest. He is a local artist and an awesome one at that. He is a bike lover, a car lover, anything like that. And he paints. He's got his own unique, style of painting. So we're going to get into that in a minute, but wanted to go through some what's going on and around the area. Rick, what do you got for us? It's coming up.
Well, it's been a pretty slow couple of weeks for me. I got eye surgery last week, and
they changed the colors yet?
Well, I did change the colors. Yeah, everything's clear in my left eye.
Okay,
and I got that cataract surgery, so it's going to be in my right eye next week. So it's a lot brighter in my left eye, and it's clearer too. So it's pretty weird how that works. And it's like, I was scared as hell going into the thing, and it's like, man, I was like 2 weeks. I was like, oh man, they're messing with my eyes. Yeah. It's like a 7-minute operation.
It's unbelievable.
They lay you down. The worst part of it was, I'm claustrophobic. Okay. Mm-hmm. The worst part of it was they lay you down, and then they strap your head down. Oh. And I wasn't out yet. And I'm like, and the doc goes, what, is there a problem? I said, I'm claustrophobic, sir. And he goes, you mean take this off? I go, you know what? You're going to have me knocked out in a second or two here. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
That was probably the worst part of it. Besides just a little discomfort and everything. And
okay.
And then I started wearing my glasses again, and I'm just getting these massive headaches because they put some kind of lens in there and it corrects the sight somehow.
Yeah.
And this lens on my glass was at my old prescription, okay, and then this one was my new prescription.
Yeah.
So so I go, what the heck am I doing here? So I put my contacts in, and I got rid of I could put my contacts in my right eye.
Yeah.
So and that got rid of the headaches really bad. So I got to go through the whole process again next week now.
And I'm sure for people that are that have cataracts and that, I can't imagine. I bet you woke up and it's like, it's probably still blurry, but I can't imagine how much clearer the colors are and clear the vision was. And you probably don't realize it going through the years. Going, man, I can't believe
I got the same thing. I have the start of it. And I could see it, and they told me to hold on for a couple of years, and that's got me really nervous.
Yeah,
it's no biggie, Keith. I'll tell you, it's just like they numb you. They put drops in your eyes like 3 or 4 times before you go into the operation. You're pretty numb, and then they put a little, believe it or not, put a little slice in your eye, and then they dig. Yeah, but that's my eyes you're messing with, buddy.
Okay, I'm gonna pass out.
I guess they pull out the old lens, and then they clean it up, and then they shove a new one in there. And
this is why I'm a car guy. I can't stand the thought of that.
It's weird.
What else we got going on, Rick? You're recovering, so
I've been playing with the Firebird, not much lately, but just trying to dump money into it and trying to get things ordered.
That's a car.
I had your buddy Gino working on my seats. I'm getting them all re-cushioned and everything, and then he sends me a text and a picture, and he goes, Rick, I don't know about this interior. It's 54 years old, so
dry rotted and rotted.
He said I could patch it up and everything. I go, you know what, Gino, what do you suggest? He goes, I suggest you put new material on the whole thing there, new seats and everything. And I said, yeah, will that work? And he says, I suggest you get a whole new interior.
Yeah.
So here I
am. Because you know what would happen, Rick? You'd gotten all that time and all that money, and you sat in it, and it would have ripped. and then you'd be like, geez, you know, and sometimes it's not worth it. And thank God they have the aftermarket parts.
Yeah, but it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to get them through Classic Industries. So it'll look good. I'm at this point
to get it through, though. Those guys they're really well developed. You know, they stand behind their stuff, and they're pretty spot on with the reproduction stuff.
That's good. And, you know, think about 20 years ago, you couldn't have gotten any of that stuff. You were trying to get it. Again, when I had this is about 20 years ago, when my Ford Interior, and again, it's still to this day, I'd had them custom made, and it was not cheap. I had them custom make for them, and that was
nothing's cheap. I'm going to probably have $1,600 just in the materials, you know, like the leather, the vinyl, and the doors, and
but that'll make a whole world of difference.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to look brand new.
Yeah. New car smell.
Yeah. Yep. Rick needs that. Anyway,
I do need that.
Yes, I
know. You know what? I'm at a point in my life right now. I'm going to be 70, and I don't care. I'm just going to put the money in it. It's a nice car, and I plan on keeping it. And
there you go.
I'll let my boys take care of it when I'm gone, and but I'm going to have some fun with it.
Enjoy it while you can, and
ready to sell my motorcycle, and the motorcycle money is going to go into the Firebird.
Yep.
So I'll have some fun.
Yeah, good. So anything else coming up, car wise? Anything?
You know what? I was last weekend. I was headed to the Huvis Auto Show over there in the Mercer area.
Oh,
I think it was Saturday, and I said, I'm going to go to Saturday. It was just a horrible day. Horrible day. It was like rain it was cold. I said, heck, I thought we'd start out the season going up there, checking out some rides, and nothing. We had all those string of nice days for quite a while. And now, well, it's sunny out. We're looking out the window now, but it's going to be crappy. Hey, Lowville's happening in a couple weeks here.
Yeah. Was it?
What? The beginning of the month, right?
May 8th is when that starts.
Yep. May 8th.
So May, Lowville will be starting. I did see a post for Lordstown Dairy Queen. So they're going to be starting up soon. That's always a good one. And I'm so glad, you know, they sold.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. They sold Lordstown Dairy Queen a couple of years ago, and they were going to shut it down, and the new owners took it over, and they kept it going, which was awesome. Because
they're calling this the 3rd annual. And I go, why don't you just continue with the other one?
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing it for 20 some years. And
they kind of want their own take on it. That's fine. As long as they're doing it, it doesn't matter. So, by the time
we got some news with Big Rick, the DJ there. He's having some problems.
Yeah, keep Big Rick in your prayers. He's having some serious health issues, and I don't know where that's going to stand for him doing DJing even at the Quaker Steak and Lube this year or not.
Yeah,
so.
I know my buddy DJ Dean Leonetti. He's covering for him for a while, so I don't know. I heard this is what I heard. Okay, that he had a couple toes cut off there a few months ago, and then I understand. I could be wrong, but this is what I was told. He had a foot cut off. Now he's getting a foot cut off, or he's getting a foot.
Yeah, from diabetes. So, I mean, that's a serious. It's a serious issue, and it's nothing to scoff over. And we give him our blessings. We wish him well. And
he's part of the car scene, man. He's a big part of it.
He's been a part of the car scene for how long?
Forever. Ever since we've been doing our show. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we want to,
everybody knows Big Rick,
Yep. Keep him in your thoughts, and he'll pull through, and we'll see him out again soon. Another thing is
we'll have to get him on the podcast here when things start getting better.
We'll get him back. We'll get him back on. Another thing is by the time, unless you're a real early downloader for the podcast, this will be before the David Ed Swap Meet, which is this weekend, which is April April 28th, 9th, and 30th.
When's it start? Friday? Saturday?
Friday's official start date. I've been for the first time ever, I'm actually taking my crap out there.
Greg's got all kind of
I don't know if I sent you a picture. Half my garage is full. I've been cleaning my loft out. I'm going to have my pickup truck and a 12-foot trailer full of stuff. So come and buy my stuff if you want to come out. And if it's left over, you look on Marketplace, it'll be there. I've got a gas power washer, an air compressor, and Beetle parts, Escape parts, Caprice parts, Ford parts, everything. Yep. Yeah. Got Escape parts from leftover. My daughter's Beetle, my son's Mitsubishi 3000 GT, is Eclipse, everything under the sun. So yeah, anyway, I'm just looking forward to getting the stuff out of my garage and out of my house and out of my life. I'm sick of.
When are you going to set up? Friday?
I'm going to try to set up. I'd like to come out Thursday. You're allowed to go out Thursday and at least set up a tent in that, because Friday is not looking good. So it's supposed to rain.
Oh.
Yeah.
And,
you're inside the building though, right?
No, I'm outside.
Oh, I thought you were inside the building.
I'm out. No.
Oh, I thought Corey got you inside the building.
No, he those are spots, that are reserved for better people than me. So I'm on the track.
Maybe Keith, he's the big celebrity now.
Yeah. So yeah, Corey's he got me in there. And again, I took anything because I came at the last second, and he got me in and took care of me. So thank you, Corey.
So if you come out Saturday, I'm going to probably be there Saturday morning for a while. Talk to me about Greg's parts, and I'll practically give them to you. Believe me.
I don't care. That's fine. But we're going to have some street scene flyers out there. I'm going to make this kind of a promotional show as well. We'll have some invites to their Street Scene Car Custom Bike Show. So stop on the tent, say hello, and buy some parts, please.
Please
buy some parts.
Dirt cheap.
yeah, dirt cheap. I'm not asking a lot for these. I just want rid of it because me and my wife are talking. Someday, very soon, we're moving, and everything has to go. So even the cars have to go.
Dirty parts done dirt cheap. Huh?
Yeah. So
you're moving, Greg. What's going on? What about you taking the garage with you or what?
No, everything's gone.
Gosh.
We're planning. We're tired of the cold. We're tired of the crappy snow or cold weather. I've had it. She's had it, and kids are growing up. So we're planning. So we'll see what happens here.
I keep saying I'm going to sell my house, but I got my garage back there, and that's where I live at, and I can't get rid of that yet. I tell everybody when I can't work out in the garage anymore, that's when I'll sell my house.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that part of it. But
sure.
Yeah, it's coming.
You watch, Keith, about 10, 15 years he'll sell the house. You watch.
Yeah, I didn't say now. I said about 10 years. I said about 10 years because, when I get close to retirement, I'm either cutting loose or retiring early and out. So
you're still a young chap though, aren't you?
I know, but I can't stop thinking about it,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's on you. Now, Keith, how old are you?
61. I'll be 62 in December.
Yeah, I'm a young pup, I guess, but I can't stop thinking about it anyway because I'm.
Keith, what is your regular job?
I am a customer service manager for a window manufacturer here in the area.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
And I've been doing that for 2 years now. Before that, I was in the rubber industry.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got to take some time and tell you about Keith's last visit with us. We had Keith on with another guest, and they actually started talking, and she got him involved with some painting. Am I right, Keith? With one of her events. And, Keith started his own design, his own way of painting, and it's really, really cool. So we'll, if you're on the YouTube broadcast, you'll be seeing that in a minute. If you're on the podcast, please stop into the YouTube broadcast at Armstrong Street Scene on YouTube, and you can see some of his work. So, Keith, take us through, when we were on the podcast last time and what happened.
Well, it was Alyssa Clickinger. She was the guest, and she was doing a ride for the all-women's ride for the suffragists 100-year anniversary.
Okay.
And it got delayed due to COVID. And what she wanted to do was, after we got off the podcast, her and I spoke, and she asked if I would donate a painting for the monies that they raised to go to a charity for homeless female veterans, which is called Final Salute.
Mm-hmm.
And as she spoke to you folks about that, I was thinking about doing that before she even approached me. So it was really cool when she did approach me. I answered her real fast. I didn't hem-haw around. I gave her an answer, and she was ecstatic. And what started off as me just doing the painting, sending it to her so she can auction it off, about a month went by and she goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'll never forget the date. I believe it's August 14th. And I'm like, nothing that I know. She goes, "Would you be willing to come to Milwaukee to the Harley Davidson Museum and unveil the painting there?" And I was like,
Oh,
yeah. Let me think about that. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. She put me up in a hotel. We went through the museum. I ate. I mean, it was amazing. And I unveiled the painting there at the Harley Davidson Museum at the restaurant next to it, their own restaurant. And since that fateful day, things have just been moving.
Good.
In a very positive direction for me.
what painting was it, Keith?
It was the young lady on a motorcycle. She had her hair blowing. I honestly don't believe I included that in the photos that I sent you, but it ended up on the front cover of Ride On magazine too.
Oh, she's great.
Jeez, yeah, that's
Yeah,
so cool.
that was really cool.
They give you credit for it?
Yes, they did. They
Wow.
sure did. They did an article
Super.
on me inside the magazine.
Super. Boy, that's better. Look at newspapers. Look at this. And television, podcasts. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Stage and screen.
Yeah.
Stage,
So,
yeah.
Let me ask this
This
question.
weekend.
When it got on Ride On magazine, now where did that take you from that point on? Did you get recognized out in the the motorcycling community for that picture? People, how did that work?
Well, what really got things going, they did an interview on the inside, and then they spoke about the Biker Brew House at the Harley shop, and that's kind of my gallery there. I have artwork hanging in there, and they featured the brew house and myself, and it's kind of funny when I walk into the Harley shop or the Biker Brew House, it's like I'm walking into Cheers. Everybody yells my name. So I've made so many new friends and met so many new people in this pinstriping community, and just everybody with Facebook and everything. It's just blown up, and it's amazing. I've actually, people bring up the magazine to me and ask me to sign it and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can copy my signature because there's no money in the bank, so I'll sign it. Yeah, it's go ahead. I'm sorry.
For people who don't know what a Biker Brew House is, that's in Austintown near the Quaker Steak and Lube there.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
It's inside. It's the only Harley Davidson shop in the United States that actually brews their own beer on site.
And it's a cool place to look through, because we did me and Cornell Bogdan did a shootout there with Pierce Dipner. He's a musician, and he's awesome. So we did a shootout there, and it's so cool to be out there in the brewery part.
Oh yeah, and you don't have to be a biker to hang out there. That's what's so cool. Everybody, it's some of the nicest people you want to meet there.
Yeah.
What's their beer called?
They got so many different ones. There's you got the trying to think of it now. They got the Voyager. They have a blueberry one called Blue Balls. They got cotton balls, cotton candy. They have kickstand.
Yeah,
they got all kinds of them, and they're amazing. Cool.
That's amazing. And those are all craft beers, correct? Just
they brew it right there. It's all done right there.
Yeah.
So what's the main label? Brew House? Brew House beer? Is that what it's called?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Is it called Brew House beer?
No, it's just Biker Brew House is the name of the place, and it's just small batch brew, and a lot of the local area bars sell their beer too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a craft beer.
Yeah,
good.
That's a big thing. Again, we got Penguin City beer.
Yeah,
down,
and they're doing quite well too.
They are.
Wow, that place is incredible. Yeah. Just an incredible, and it's so refreshing to see those businesses pop up like that.
Yeah.
You know,
their beer's good. I like their light beer.
I do too.
The Penguin beer. It's very good. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, we've, he's been, Steve's taken off on some of this stuff. I'm gonna, Rick, I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna throw some pictures up or some paintings of what he has. So if you're on YouTube, here we go. If you're on the podcast, just tap into YouTube. We're about 20 minutes in, so just kind of fast forward to 20 minutes if you want to see the pictures. So if I can actually get this thing working. There we go.
Keith, I kind of looked up the definition of pinstriping today. Okay. Technical thing. It says pinstriping is kind of a decorative art that consists of making thin lines, which of color, called pinstripes, with linear geometric patterns. That's the definition of a pinstriping. Keith, how long have you been doing this now?
Pinstriping in general, probably about the last 8 to 9 years. The portraits that you're looking at now, those are developed in the last 5 years.
5 years.
Okay. Let me explain something real quick to our audience that's listening. And it's like if you're looking at his portraits and look it up online, how do they look up your work online? They
could go to me, Keith Sturgeon. I always post my work online, or they could go to Skeeter's Graphics. That's also there on Facebook.
Okay.
I always see him on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a portrait, and it's all with pinstripings to make up the portrait. It's really, again, Rick, when we interviewed him, we have never seen anything like that.
Never seen anything like this one here.
No,
this is the garbage can he's been working on for what, the Alice Cooper concert.
Yeah, this one's going to get given to Alice Cooper, and then he's going to sign it on the 29th of this month, and they're actually doing a proclamation that it is going to be officially Alice Cooper's Day, and it's going to be on permanent display at the Cavelli Center.
Now, we've got to go into how this happened. I mean, Alice Cooper, one of the biggest legends ever in the rock scene, is Alice Cooper. Now, how did you get hooked up with this, Steve or Keith?
Well, the way I got hooked up with this was Fast Freddy and Y103 reached out to me to do a birthday card for Ace Frehley, which is the night before.
God,
he's coming into town, and so I did a birthday card with him, and everybody that comes into the show is going to autograph it. We're going to.
I like that one.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool there.
When we do that, that's going to be his birthday gift. Well, it was a couple weeks later, and there was a high school up in Michigan that used a Kiss song as their pump-up song for their games, and all of a sudden Kiss ended up showing up there at the high school.
Could you imagine that?
They made it a special Kiss Day. So Freddie's like, we can't go nothing that crazy, but let's do this for Alice Cooper. So Alice Cooper has an album called Trash. Freddie found this trash can and asked me if I'd be interested in painting it up with some Alice Cooper and getting him to sign it. And so that's what I did.
I was going to ask you about the trash can. How did that come about? So
it was. We've been reaching out to his people for the last month, and we just found out last Thursday. That's the card for for Ace Frehley.
We're showing what he painted. It says "Happy Birthday, Ace" for Ace Frehley.
I'm not sure, but Ace Frehley. Who's Ace Frehley?
He was the space man with Kiss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He was a guitar player.
I'm gonna say now. Do we have to hang up now? We have to end this Zoom cast because Rick doesn't know who Ace Frehley is.
You know what? I hate to say.
We're showing a picture here. This is off his new album, correct?
Yeah.
Now, who is this, Rick? We got to show this.
Go ahead, Rick.
Wow.
Everybody
knows this. Everybody knows this one.
Yes.
Alice Cooper.
No.
Who is it? Oh,
it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Okay,
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Alice would have.
Okay. What we're going to do from now on is we're going to have Cornell Bogdan come on to teach you about music. So
hey, Rick did have eye surgery, so we'll give him that.
That's right. I couldn't see that too
that's
well.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I know Ozzy Osbourne. I used to be a big, deep, I was a Black Sabbath fan when I was growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's now we can get into the argument of who was the best Black Sabbath lead singer between it was Dio or Ozzy or so but we won't get into that right now, but we're just looking at the paintings now.
This one ended up out at Sema.
Okay.
So there was 40 artists that got asked to do a helmet for Sema, 40 artists from around the world. Yeah. And I got asked to do a helmet, and
that's a helmet.
Yeah. Well, think about this.
Baseball style helmets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, put this into perspective. 40 artists from around the world to go to the biggest car show in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith was one of them. Why do I keep calling you Steve? I don't know why, but
you got to mess up a name. Hey, Keith, he messes up a name every time.
I know. Keep going. Yeah. But Keith was one of the 40 asked about all the artists in the world. So that's pretty.
Hey, Keith, give me a going. I'd like to go to SEMA some year, but I heard you have to be invited to go there. Is that true?
Correct. Yeah, you have to know somebody to get to SEMA. And luckily in 2018, I did know somebody, and I got to go out there.
Well, we do know people that can get into SEMA, Rick, but I don't think we're going to get into it.
I'd love to go. I want to go.
Well, Krista Sylvester goes every year. So does Joey.
How's she get in?
Oh, I don't know. She knows the right
we'll have
people.
to talk to her. We'll have to talk to her about that one.
Yeah, that's something. It's like a dream come true. It's a Drool City going out there.
It's amazing. That's the one I have hanging on my wall.
Okay, there you go. It's a picture of a girl with a what do you call it? Headdress, from Indian headdress on. And so
boy, that's sharp.
Do you do anything? I know you do pinstriping, and you make a lot of your artwork with pinstriping. Do you do artwork without the pinstriping?
I do a lot of portraits of pets.
Okay.
And I could use the pinstriping with it, but it just depends on their fur.
Okay. I
could take a brush and make the curls show with a brush, more so that way than with a pinstriping brush. And it looks more realistic.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so far, well, like the Alice Cooper can, there's not a single stripe on that.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back.
Speaking of brushes, this is going to be one of my questions anyway. What type of brushes do you use?
Well, for what I use for the portraits, I use a scrolling brush, which
that's that long, thin one.
Yeah, it's if you could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bristles are almost as long as the handle.
What's it made out of? Is that horsehair?
Natural squirrel hair.
Squirrel hair, really? Okay.
Hair. Oh, okay. I thought it was horsehair.
Now, is horsehair a lot? Again, we're getting to something. Is horsehair a lot thicker than the squirrel hair? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, I believe it's more coarse, and the squirrel hair, it's actually imported, if I'm not mistaken. And the brushes are made right here in Ohio.
I can get you all you want off the road here. So.
Is it black squirrel, gray squirrel, red squirrel?
Yeah. They're made here in Ohio.
Okay.
And with when you have a natural hair brush, the paint hangs on to the bristles longer, so you could go a longer line.
Okay.
Where if you go with a nylon brush, the fibers, the filaments are smooth, so the paint runs off real fast.
I was going to say, if you're ever, again, even doing home improvement, I never buy the damn nylon brushes. I can't stand them. I always buy the horsehair brushes because it actually is smoother and you can trim better and all that. So
yeah, it holds the paint. There's you can't see it, but microscopic little burrs on each hair, and it holds the paint, so it doesn't flow right off.
Now, how many?
Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering how many different brushes can you possibly have can you possibly get for artwork? And I'm sure there's hundreds.
Try again. Thousands.
Thousands.
I don't know how you did the difference. I mean, that's just amazing.
You know what? I get brushes and I try them, and it's like, oh, here's a winner. But I was given a brush by Steve Shazeka, the Wizard, pinstriper extraordinaire and airbrush artist. And he has a brush called, I believe it's called the Whiplash. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. I don't know where I put it. But it's a nylon brush.
Keith, we wouldn't even know the difference if we saw it. Yeah. So we'll take your word on it.
Steve's a friend of mine, so I have very high respect for his work.
Yeah, it seems like I was just talking with a couple weeks ago with Adam Pratt, and he said the Wizard is really his kind of hero for all that stuff. And
without a doubt.
Taught him so much, and it's nice to have somebody like the Wizard to be teaching Keith and Adam and people taking under their wing.
You know what, Greg? We've never run into the Wizard. You know that.
No, we've got to get him on here.
We've never run into him,
No,
he's a super great guy. He's in Middletown, up there, New Middletown, and then Guy Shively, he's the other guy.
Yeah, that guy's been on numerous times. He's a friend of the show, big friend of the show. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do going forward. I have to make it yet, but every time I do a show, first thing, someone walks up and looks at my stuff, and they go, "Do you know Guy Shively?"
Yeah, guys.
Yes.
Guy's the big name around here. Yeah.
Well, so I'm making a sign that says, "Yes, I do know Guy Shively." I'm putting it on my table. He doesn't know it yet.
No, here's what you do. What you do is you go up and stick a decal on Guy's like van and say, "Ask about Keith Sturgeon." You just stick on there and they'll go up to Guy. "Do you know Keith Sturgeon?" And like, yes.
Well, one of the biggest compliments I ever got was I was with Guy Shively. We were up at the IX Center doing for a car show. Him and I were walking together, and he introduced me as a pinstripe artist. And when he did that, I was ready to go home. Life was good. I could not believe it. That was the biggest compliment I ever had.
Guy's been doing it forever since he got out of college. And I don't know when he got out of college, the 70s or something. He's been, and some of the work he's done, jeez, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, there's people in this area that we do know, and of course Keith, Adam, Guy, the Wizard, and there's a handful of other people.
There's a couple other ones too.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, Keith, you made a legend of yourself in this area of doing this work, and we know that, and we are taking credit for a lot of that. So just to let you know that.
I'm blushing. Nah, you guys got to quit that stuff.
Hey, Keith, here's another question for you. Is pinstriping a dying art?
No pun intended.
It is, but I think I see a lot of young guys starting to pick it up.
Is there some young guys in there? Good.
I was out the vocational school actually last Friday, and I spoke to the art class out there, and they brought the body shop class up there. And I told the guys there and any of the students that if they were interested in learning how to do it, all they got to do is call me, and I would give them a hand. And there was a couple people interested, so we'll see how that follows through.
Good. It's good to be a mentor with this stuff. Keep it going, you know. Yeah.
And I graduated from there, so it was really cool going back there 43 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like pinstriping's been around ever since I've been around, 50s, 60s. Yeah. You know?
They pinstripe chariots. I mean, it goes back.
Oh, forever. They pinstripe chariours?
Yeah. There lines on chariots.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Decorated stagecoaches with pinstripe. I mean, it's been around forever.
I've seen this, and I don't know if I'm viewing this with kind of a positive outlook, but it seems like, the car, all this stuff, we're trying to get the younger generation involved. And I think this generation of kids is starting to go up on interest in a lot of this stuff. I've noticed, it seems like there for a while, we were pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to figure out what's going to happen. And I think it's starting to, what's old is new again. And, I think that's starting to come back around. So I'm hoping, I mean, I always joked, it's like, once I'm gone, my vehicles will probably be in the boneyard, and nobody cares
your
about
son will
them.
just blow them up.
No, don't talk about that. Yeah, I just cleaned up a couple motors in my
Hey, Keith, his
yard.
son's great at blowing the engines and everything, man.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, he got another car. Well, he blew it up.
done a couple in the last month. So yeah, but again, he's doing the work. So God bless him. He's out there doing the work himself. So
he's learning the hard way.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but he's learning it. Yeah, we've all been there, done that. So we're trying to go ahead, Rick.
Okay, let me talk about some brushes here. Any brands better than the other? Well, I'm sure you said there's thousands of brushes.
Yeah, well, as far as pinstriping brushes go, 99% of what we get here in the United States, I would say, come from the Mac Brush Company out of Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
So they do the dagger brushes, which is your traditional pinstripe brush.
Is that the long, narrow one?
It is. Here we go. It's got oil all over it, but you can see this one here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's it looks like a dagger.
Looks like an X-Acto knife if you want to look at it.
Yeah. So there's that one. Now this is a Mac brush, and I believe it's called a King 13, which is a brush made by Todd Hansen out of Toledo. That's his brush. And then here's another brush. Again, it's the same, but it's different.
Okay.
This is also made by Mac Brush, and this one's done by a pinstriper called Vondago, and that's his pinstriping name. And he's been around forever. He's retired now, but he offers brushes. Okay. So it just depends on what you like.
Mm-hmm. How many do you have? How many brushes you have there, Keith?
Okay, there were 5 there. I got
2.
There's
200.
20 there in this one box.
20.
I probably got about 60 brushes total.
Yeah.
Brushes in general.
Okay. Are they all different prices, or are they similar in prices?
Oh yeah. A regular dagger brush probably starts around $20.
So okay, so you can't go to Dollar General and buy them, right? Just, no. There are some, like you said, there is some interest from the younger generation getting into this, and we know we have kids out there that are trying to learn this skill. The best piece of advice you give somebody to actually try to start this, what should they do?
Tips.
Just watch, first off, just to get an idea on how to hold the brush and how to palette the brush, watch YouTube videos. Once you learn how to hold it, once you learn how to palette, then you have to practice. And you have to practice every day. Mm-hmm. You have to practice just pulling your straight lines. Then you got to start with your C lines, your S lines, your curve lines. That's the best thing to do to get your muscle memory in there. And the way these brushes work, if you push down on your brush, you're going to get a bigger line, a wider line. When you lift up on it, that's where your small line comes from. So you have to learn where you're at on that. And all I could say is just practice, practice, practice. A lot of guys practice on glass, and they say if you can do it on glass, you can do it on anything, because there's really no tooth on glass.
Real smooth. Is that the reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's difficult to do it on glass, and they say if you could do glass, you're golden. You could put a line on anything.
Okay.
Go to your favorite junkyard.
Yeah.
Get an old car door and a fender from a body shop and stripe on that, wipe it off, do it again. Just
okay. You come out to the swap meet this weekend, and you could buy one off me and practice. So.
And Greg will autograph it for you.
Yeah, I'll even autograph it. I got a tailgate out there, so you come out to get an old 86 to 91 Ford tailgate that's rust free, but you could pinstripe it out there. So.
Hey Keith, what type of paint do you use? Is there different types, or just one special one?
There are different types. I just happened by chance, probably a month ago, I basically got sponsored by a company out of Detroit called Alpha Enamels. It's an oil-based enamel paint. I'm using their product now exclusively. And but there's also a brand that's been around forever called One Shot, and that's a sign painter's paint. And then there's paints. If you're really good and really confident, there's urethane. Because once that dries,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Now, I was gonna say, if you make a mistake, say again, if it was me, I'd be making a ton of mistakes. But you make a mistake, what do you do then?
Well, if it's on a vehicle and you're striping and you make a mistake, you can usually wipe it off with alcohol or thinner, and it won't harm the finish of the vehicle. On the canvas, I do layers. So what I do, I have to let the one layer dry before I go put the next layer on. And by layering it, I'm actually going over that same pinstripe maybe 4 different times.
Okay.
For paint. So if I start going and I kick out, get a little wide, and I fill in the gap in between the lines, I could take a Q-tip with alcohol and go in there and remove it.
Okay. All right.
So I try not to do that.
On a car, Guy Shively told me easy off oven cleaner. I'll take it off too.
That will do it, but you have to be quick in removing it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What, the oven cleaner? It'll screw your paint up?
It's nasty. Yeah, that's nasty stuff.
He told me that would take it off.
What I do, I've used it. I had a gentleman that had the very first vehicle I've ever pinstriped. I did it on his fender and did his whole car, and he was ecstatic about it. And so I went back up to do some more work on his vehicle. And he goes, "Can you make this stuff that you put on prior to look old?"
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah. So I ended up getting oven cleaner with a Q-tip and just trying to isolate the stripe and then go behind it with a rag and took some of the paint off. So it looks like it's been there for a while. So it looked broken up.
It worked then, huh?
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize how involved some of your portraits are. Now, I don't think unless you're in there doing it, you don't realize how much time goes into making one of these. Average time, say, the photo behind you that you have.
Yes.
How much time did that take? Approximately
about 20 hours.
20 hours of tedious,
Who is that?
That's Harlequin. Margot Robbie from the movie Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of time involved, and again, it's Keith is so good at it that he's probably taking less time now. When you start out, how much time is it taking?
Oh, it took a long time. Well, it involved so much from the very first painting I did. I actually gave to Ryan Evans, who's the striper on Counts Customs.
Yeah,
with the beard. Him and Ryan and I are friends, and he got the very first one. And when I sent it, he thought it was the coolest thing he's ever seen.
That's going to be like a Da Vinci someday, huh?
Yeah. And you can actually see it. You can see it on TV in the background. And, he told me, "Don't ever stop doing this." And so between him and the artist Von Dago, those two guys, I kept that in the back of my head to not stop, and I kept doing it, and from month to month I could see the difference in it. I mean, it's ongoing. I learned something different every time I do one, because it's like, oh, I wonder what happens if I mix this. Because right now this has silver leaf on it, so I'm starting to put gold leaf and silver leaf on my paintings too.
Okay.
To jazz it up a little bit.
Well, that sounds good.
Go ahead, Rick. I have a thought in my head, but I'll let you go.
Where'd you get your inspiration at there, Keith?
Well, what happened was a friend of mine was working on my motorcycle. I was injured and off work, so I would go over to his house and just hang out in the garage. And he gave me a pinstriping brush, and I started messing with it. And he goes, "Hey, you're pretty good." So the next day I went back, I had a brand new brush and about 4 or 5 cans of paint, and I haven't stopped since.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always been something that I thought was cool. And like I said, I've always looked up to Guy Shively because I knew him.
Yeah. So
from
he
the
was
area,
that was my next question. Who was your big inspiration there? It was
I
Guy.
would say Guy Shively because I actually knew him personally
Uh-huh.
after a little while. But I mean, all the area guys. I mean, the Wizard, Guy Shively, and to have those two guys so close to each other, it blows my mind because they're legends. They truly are.
Yeah.
When you go to Detroit and you go to Cleveland, those shows there's a lot of pinstripers up there. More than you think. Yeah. They're from all over the country too.
Everywhere. When we do the one at the IX Center, there's like 60 of us up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole row. If you go up I think, if you watch the Piston Power show, which, it now has audio because I was having so many problems. And I want to apologize to our audience that is watching any show on Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. I was having so many software problems for the shows. There was no audio for like 3 weeks on them. And I do apologize. It is fixed now. I take the blame for that. So if you want to yell, you can yell right at me because that was my fault. So yeah, I know. We had a lot of trouble with that. So, if you watch that show, I have a couple shots of, there's a whole huge row of pinstripers and artists, and the work, it's incredible what they put out. And Keith's right up there with them, So, if, if somebody wants a portrait done, you do a lot of pet portraits too, which is really cool. So again, how do people get a hold of you?
They could just reach out, on Facebook. Look me up at Keith Sturgeon, or just Skeeter's Graphics on Facebook. And because all I need to do, if they want a picture or a portrait, I work from photographs, so that's all I need. They could send it to me, email, messenger, text me.
And size wise, how big can you make them? How small can you make them is the question too.
As far as with this style, the smallest I do right now is 16 by 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the largest one I've done is 30 by 40.
Okay.
Shipping them, the larger ones, it ends up costing quite a bit. I shipped one to Arizona, and it was almost $200 to ship it.
Oh,
but
wow!
It made it. So that's my biggest fear.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm sitting on pins and needles. It's like, did it get there yet? Did it get there yet?
Yep.
Every time I go to Facebook, it seems like you're doing something different. I said, man, he's doing another one and another one and another one.
Yeah, you know what? There's some that I've done. I just posted a photo of my next one that I want to do. It's Kid Rock.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And all I did was put the photo up there of the one I want to do next, and I had 2 people asking me how much. And I was like, I didn't even put paper to pencil yet.
I know. So what?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. So where have your travels taken you in the last, almost to the day, 2 years ago? From this 2 years on, you said you've been to Sema. Now, where else have you've gone? All over the place. Where have you gone, and what's been going on with that?
The Harley Davidson Museum was really awesome. I was able to do something there, and I actually pulled a couple lines at Sema. I went up to the one booth and I go, "Hey, can I do this so I could say that I pinstriped at Sema?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah." So I pulled a couple lines at the one booth. I was out at Carlisle. I got invited out there. It was the fall show. Unfortunately, the weather was terrible.
Oh, yeah, they had real bad weather last year.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Luckily, I was in the building.
Oh, thank God.
But it was awesome. They comped me my spot and everything. So I just had to pay for my room, and that was my first time being at Carlisle. But that's as far as I've gone with my artwork. But now I go to these places, and these other artists are like, "Oh, I know you," and I'm like, "Okay."
Really? Yeah, cool.
I still can't. I have a hard time calling myself an artist.
No.
Why? You're a heck of an artist. You're a good artist.
I just have a hard time doing it. And it's just the way it is with me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, Keith, how do you pick your colors?
Well, with the colors, it's for the vehicles, for pinstriping a vehicle. I try to find something that complements the color. It's the vehicle itself.
Like, does somebody say, I want this color, and then you go, nah, I don't want that color.
Well, yeah, I've done that, and I'll put a couple lines on the car, and then I'll show them that, and then wipe it off, and then I'll put the colors on that I think look good, and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. And I'm not always right. I'm not going to say that I'm always right, but customer's always right. But I don't want to come back at me later and says, why didn't you tell me?
Because I've had Guy pinstripe a couple cars for me. And I said, Guy, I like to get this pinstripe, this color and this color. And he goes, nah, that's not good. And I said, okay, Guy, just do it.
Yeah, he did that to me too. I'm like, I want it this way. He's like, no, you don't. I'm like, okay, and I get it back. Yeah, you were right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you just look at something and says, hey, that looks good. I mean, unless you want to do something really crazy. But for the most part, I try to complement the vehicle. And a lot of times the guys want a whole bunch of pinstripe, and I go, man, I'm one of those guys that less is more.
Yeah.
I don't like to overdo it.
Yeah.
My vehicle, my personal vehicle, I have 2 lines down both sides of the vehicle and a little bit on the hood, and that's it.
Yeah, just to accent it a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree. I've seen, there's some cars, and again, Rick, you can say the same thing. There's some cars I've gone out there and you've gone to a show and it's pinstriped to hell. And it's like all over going, where's the car at? I mean, there was way too much of that.
Yeah.
It
takes away.
Yep.
Speaking of stuff like that, what do you think when you see those Latino cars? How they're all dazzed up and everything.
Those things are rolling pieces of art.
They're phenomenal, aren't they? Phenomenal,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I was out in California. I saw the original, Rosalie, one of the first iconic lowriders.
Oh God, the airbrush work.
Jiffy Rose.
Okay,
that car was. I saw it at the Peterson Museum out there, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, they're just phenomenal, aren't they?
Years and years of just artwork on those cars.
I know. Yeah, I don't know how they do some of that airbrushing and then some of the striping and then they clear over it, and it's like, man, I don't know how much time.
It's not my style or anything, but I love looking at it. And, people look at that and go, but you gotta look at it. It is phenomenal. And then they're starting to etch everything else now, like all the chrome work.
I was thinking about getting into that. I wanted to give that a try, but the tooling and what you need a lot. My studio's in my basement. I have a single car garage with my wife's car and my 2 motorcycles in there, so I don't have much room to do anything. And I don't think she wants to hear that engraver go.
Yeah, like a dentist's office or something. It's mostly what the Mexicans doing that, I think, right?
No.
I thought it was mostly Mexican.
No. No, it's all over. I mean, that is a phenomenon, and that hasn't died off a lot.
It's gaining.
Yes.
Yeah. Bigger. It's getting bigger, especially the engraving.
Yeah, gosh. Bigger.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Some of the work those guys do.
I've got a challenge for our audience. And from doing this show as long as we have, Rick, I've learned that when I went in kind of blind, going, I like this, and everything else sucks. Okay, I have opened my eyes doing this show, going, I'd go buy a car and it's like, wait a minute, that's really cool. I challenge the audience, go look at a car that you really is not your style. You're going to see some artwork or some styling that is really cool. I mean, really, the biggest show this year we're going to do, and I'm thrilled to do it. And I even postponed my vacation because of it, Rick. It was the Brothers of Power show that I promised them last year. I even moved the vacation so we could do that show, because the cars that they're going to be out there, and I've grown to love them.
I went to it last year, just to see, and they're great. They're great. Oh my
God, I can't wait.
Where's that one at?
East
High School.
East High School.
East High School.
So you got to check it out. It's some of the stuff. car guys come in all cultures, and everybody's got their own style, and you just have to learn to appreciate it.
Well, the whole point is, there's car people, there's car women, there's car kids, there's car guys. It's we're all the same breed. We all come from the same place. We have that interest. Doesn't matter where branch it goes off into. We've got that core interest, and it's cool because, okay, let's talk about now Volkswagens. Rick, you were, Rick was diehard. I can't stand them. Volkswagen guy until you went out to the show and was like, hey, that was pretty cool.
It was very cool. It was very cool. Who else is like that? The Jeep people are like that too. Jeep, anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And my taste in cars have changed too.
Sure.
I used to love the 57 Chevys, and I'm like, I like the 55 now, a lot better. Because it's just kind of like the oddball cars, I guess is the way I say it.
You're a man after my own heart. I always say I love the oddball stuff.
That's why I like you, Craig. You're an oddball.
Oh, I know that. That's probably why I like oddball stuff, because I feel, they're kind of oppressed like me, and, they don't get a lot of love like me, and just the kind of the different, the odd stuff.
So, my new favorite car changes like monthly,
Yeah, we know that.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. I remember I think that 64 T-Bird. It's my dream car. Yeah. Okay.
It was for a while, then turned into my nightmare because I put too much money into it. And then I was into the Cougars and all that stuff. Now I'm into the Firebirds. So
I don't even know what kind of car, if I was offered, if I had to, someone handed me money, I don't know what car I'd go after.
No,
I really don't. There's so many of them out there that I like. And now that I'm doing what I'm doing, it's opened up.
There's some I grew up with, and I was seeing them around all the time, and I just don't want to have one. I like the different stuff myself. So
one of the cars that I really do like is the early Novas, the Chevy 2s.
Yep.
That square body, it's just clean. And then when they put those new frames underneath there, and they narrow that rear end, and they stick up those big old tires up there.
Yes.
Good God.
I got a question. For you, and I don't think I've ever asked this.
Tire? No.
Well, no. You know what the old saying is? They used to put instructions on how to adjust valves. Now they have to put instructions in not to ingest motor oil for these people coming up in this world, because it's changed so much. Here's a question for you. Is there a car, motorcycle, or anything that you did not like 20 years ago that you're like, I really like it now? Is there one that sticks out in your mind? Oh, I put him on the spot. That's what I wanted to do.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
I can't remember 20 minutes ago.
Oh, you're on a podcast, by the way. That's where we were 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm. You know what I really like? I'll tell you this one. And I always thought they were cool, but I see them now. Some of these Volkswagens that when they slam them down and they jump the top.
Yeah.
There's a fella, Ian Rossell, who is out west. His Volkswagen builds are crazy, and I love them.
Yeah.
I think that, boy, there was. I mean, I've always. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't
that's
know.
something to think on. Maybe our audience can think on that. Armstrong Street Scene at gmail.com. Email your answers to. We've got a couple minutes left. Rick, do you have any other questions for Keith?
Keith, you've been doing this for a number of years now. What is your favorite piece?
My favorite piece, I believe, is the one that's upstairs right now, the Indian.
With the girl in it?
Yeah, there was just. I did it twice. I sold the first one and I was sick.
Oh, so wow.
And I've never duplicated another. I can't duplicate any of them anyway.
Is this the one you shared with us? I'm going to have to share it.
You showed it before.
Yeah, it is.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Real cool.
That's upstairs in our living room.
Just the colors and everything. Look at all the colors in that.
Wow. There's just something about it. Unfortunately, photographs really don't show.
Is that anybody special? You know?
No, I just found the photograph online and I changed it up some. And
that's cool.
I own a Harley, and that's an Indian.
Yep.
If I can take just a few minutes.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a rally coming up at Route 46.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Rally on Route 46. It's going to take place at the Harley shop. It's going to start June 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Wow.
At Youngstown Harley. And it's a bike rally. And right now, I believe there's 30 plus vendors there. Myself's going to be there. And another pinstriper out of Akron, Chewy. He's going to be there. He's with 840 Design. He's an amazing pinstriper. We're going to be booth right next to each other. We know each other. So that's another thing. Pinstriper guys are pretty cool with each other. So
good.
If I can't do it, I'll send it to him and vice versa. So
dates again on that?
Pardon me?
Dates again on that one?
It's the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th of June. It's the second week of June.
Okay.
And this is their first one. And they're planning on doing this yearly, same time every year. So they're trying to get everybody, all the businesses on 46 involved. That whole circle is going to be involved, but it's a bike rally. They're going to have bands. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for it. So
awesome. For people that don't know, where exactly is 46 at? Is that in Youngstown, or is that?
Well, it runs right through from Warren through Mineral Ridge, through Austintown, into Campfield, into Columbiana, but it's at Youngstown Harley, right there by 80.
Quaker Steak and Lube, right there in Austintown.
Okay, that's the brew house then, right? Isn't that where? Okay,
yep.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, it's basically a biker thing, but it's it's family friendly. That's what they plan on making everything. So it's going to be really nice. Jackie from Youngstown Harley, she's really involved with that. She's doing a heck of a job.
Good.
So
really
hope it goes well.
Keep those dates in mind. And once again, how can people get a hold of you if they want to get something done of theirs?
Just look me up on Facebook, Keith Sturgeon, and Skeeter's Graphics.
Good.
And,
okay.
We'll take it from there.
Hey Keith, this is the second time you've been on our show now. You said you were
slighted.
You felt slighted before.
Yeah, how many times has Tony been on? Am I catching up yet, guys?
Yeah.
Tony Nichols, he's my buddy. So I got
well, yeah, now you're caught up. So
okay.
I got a real quick announcement. You want to definitely start listening or downloading the podcast in May. We're going to give you a trivia question. You're going to have to email the answer. And we have partnered with Eastwood Products. And we are going to have a huge giveaway twice a month. So on each show, we're going to do a giveaway. And
there's some good stuff too.
Yep. I'll tell you. So they've got a prize pack to give away. We're proud to partner with Eastwood Products. They're supporting us. So we're going to do a giveaway.
Yeah, you could get pinstriping supplies from them too. They have brushes.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, they got a lot of paint there. Yeah, they're big on paint.
They're huge. So if you got you want to check out Eastwood Products or Eastwood.com, they've got some, like I always say, that if you're looking for a unique product, they've got it. So they've got some really cool stuff, and we're going to start working with them on May. So keep listening, keep downloading. And we want to thank Keith Sturgeon for joining us this time, and best of luck to you. Yep. Best of luck. Your career is going to take off even more since you've been on this show.
All right.
We went 50%, right?
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah. No, 60 now. Because
60.
It's been an hour. For Rick Herrera. My name's Greg Roten, and we will see you
down the road.